Welcome everyone on today's Metal3 Community meeting. My name is Adam Rosman. I will be your host today. Today is 9th of November 2022. And as always, please remember that the meeting is recorded. And let's start with the introduction. So if you are new to the meeting, then please introduce yourself if you want. If no one wants to do some introduction, then we can continue. So the next two part of the agenda, next part of the agenda is the reminders. So as always, if your organization feels that you'd like to be part of our adopters group, please feel free to add yourself to the adopters list, which you can find at this link. And the other one is, I think, still in review. Yes, this is the guidelines for the BMO contributions. Please, I think, yeah, both are missing LGTM and the proof. So if you have those rights, please add it. I think everything has been addressed that was commented as a review. And then our first actual agenda point for the day is that the Metal3 project has submitted its CNCF annual report for review, and I can show you. And thank you for everyone who was participating in it, either on putting ideas here on the review or during the previous sessions where when we were editing it on Google Docs or on HackMD. Thanks everyone. And then I just wanted to show that as it was a requirement to send an email to the CNCF TOC community, I have found that we can see their mailing list, and I can confirm that they have received our TOC, at least the email about our report. So this is done, I would say. Please do not add any more reviews if you find anything on the PR, because the deadline was the 8th of November. So this is finalized now. Okay, then the next point is from Dimitri.
Yeah, thank you. It's really just a heads up for you that Ricardo and I are working on an effort to run a Metal3 CI job on Ironic itself. So that could be cool to catch regressions like the SQLite issue we've been hunted by. If somebody wants to take a second and review what I'm doing, I'm so far unable to go through log collection, and bare metal operator deployment doesn't stand up for some reason. It cannot reach the image server, the local registry. So if you're familiar with OpenDev, please do check this change.
Okay, thank you. And thanks for adding it to the TOC also. I committed up when I was writing the report, so it is also included in the annual report. And I have to do some minor tasks. So Ricardo, can you go please as the next one on the agenda?
Oh yeah, thanks. Sure. So it's just a request to review the PR to customize the source build of the Ironic image from source. This allows to use commit hashes or Gary refs. And after this is done, we are going to work on adding a way to also use local repositories. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks very much. I think you have also shared this with us last week, and yeah, this will be a good addition to for both people who are building it locally and for the CI. Yep. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
And please, if you have what do you need LGTM? So if anyone has LGTM rights, please put an LGTM on this. It's very nice work. Okay, and then the next one is was from me, which is about our new security policy, and it's part of our user guide, and we needed to provide this as part of the annual review, or actually we have seen that we are missing this, and this was required for the incubation, what we have asked for in the annual review. And now we have this whole policy. This is mostly the Kubernetes policy, but a bit simplified down to our level, and taking into account that we are not that big of an organization. And I also listed here all of the community members, and that's basically just those people who were originally interested in the security community and have been invited to that separate mailing list. And I will send an email, as I promised, to the security committee or our mailing list. But I really would like to promote Tuomo as someone who could take on the role of the security lead, which is the role of the security lead is described here in the policy. But he has background in this field, and also we have discussed inside the ESG team that he would also do most of our security backlog that we have, and also he will try to steer the community to be compliant with the this open FSS, if I remember correctly, with that foundation. Do I say it right, Tuomo? SSF, sorry, not FSS. Yeah.
Yes, open SSF.
Yeah. So I will write an email about that for everyone to see, but I would really like to have him as one of the like the one security lead, because in the Kubernetes community it is done in a round robin basis, but they have a lot of people, and we don't really have the resources for that to put this hat on everyone's head. And of course, if we will have a security vulnerability anyways, basically everyone have to participate, almost everyone, to fix it if it's in a repository that you are familiar with and you are in the committee. So everybody will have experience with this security stuff. Is there any question or request related to this whole security policy situation? Okay, if nothing, that's fine. What I also wanted to show related to this as an addition, if my internet would not be this extremely slow. And which maybe this is good. So as part of the same process, we added these security contacts, which basically just a very short file in every repository. I think it's pending on review in 1 or 2 repos, but it's already even backported to some of the older release benches by Furkat. So this just tells the contributor that what not to do, and it can be extended in the future with actions that the contributor should do, and points to the security policy. And if we have some additional repository specific rule, or we want to highlight something that's specific to the repository, we can put it into the security contacts file. And if in the future anyone would like to create a repository inside the Metal3 IO project, please include this security contacts file. Okay, I think that's all about the security. Is there any question to the whole security, not just to the policy, but anything related to this? Okay, if not, then we can go to the next one, which is from Dimitri.
Yeah, thank you again. I would like to probe the ground here about our community participating in the outreach program. So long story short, and you can check the whole information by this link, that's a program that is essentially a paid internship for people from underrepresented groups in software engineering and related IT spheres. It works this way. So a community declares its participation, it finds sponsors, it opens 1 or 2 positions, it creates some projects, and interns apply to these projects and work on them for 3 months. They get paid by a sponsor, and community receives some work and participates in making the world a better place overall. OpenStack has been a participant for many years, and I have been a coordinator of OpenStack community for some time as well. So I have some pretty decent experience with outreach. I also used to be a mentor. It seems that, which is not a hard, like 100% promise, but maybe like 90% promise, that Red Hat may be able to sponsor 1 slot, so 1 intern for the upcoming cycle, which is going to be next summer, I assume. I need to double check. Yeah, so we are already in the winter cycle, so next summer cycle. They happen twice a year. What I would like to hear from you, and not necessarily right this second, but overall, is whether you find it interesting and useful for our community to participate there. Whether you think of some good projects that could be given for an intern, keeping in mind that this person probably be not the most experienced software engineer, and the job will have to be finished in 3 months. Whether somebody wants to become a mentor, and yeah, all this stuff. So let me know your opinions here now or later on Slack or wherever you can.
Thank you, Dimitri. This sounds very interesting. I might have heard about this, but not in this much detail. What's this about? Yeah, I think ESG is the other big group here next to Red Hat, usually in these meetings, and we would need, I think, internal discussion about this, because we have, at least I have not faced with like this situation that how to organize a participation from like the whole project side. But it sounds very interesting, and I think it could be very good for the project. We have had experience in the past with internal interns who worked 3 months. I don't know, Kashif. I just seen the last part of that. What was your experience with that? Because the time frame was similar.
Yes, yeah. I think what you said is correct. There were some interns who were doing some internal investigation and project related work, but this seems pretty interesting. So I have a question rather, that what would be the whether the goal as a community, or what would be any example of what can be a task if Metal3 as a community joins this process.
Yeah, so Ironic has participated a few times. Our projects included, for example, Secure Boot API. So we task the person to implementing Secure Boot API in Ironic. Before that, there were some projects on filling in missing bits in Sushi, which is our Redfish library. So some Redfish features were actually developed by interns. So something self-contained. Now, immediately I will say that it doesn't have to be limited to coding. It can be documentation work, for example, or CI work. So there are some non-coding people also participating in outreach. So we've actually done some overhaul of our documentation, but if you want some other significant bit of it, for example, maybe, just maybe, we want somebody to really give some love to our website. Because I know that try-it is sometimes have outdated information, and overall it's maybe not as shiny as it could be. So that could be something we could look at for a person who is good at, who is interested in HTML and design, and give them some work on our website, for example.
Okay, yeah.
As to the effort, I'm not asking much from the community. So I'm happy to take the coordination, at least for the next round, because I have relevant experience and contacts in outreach world. We could be a mentor. If you think of a project, it could be a mentor, it could be two mentors on the same project, or two projects and two mentors. As a mentor, you will need to dedicate some proportion of your time during these 3 months and around a month before that for this effort. If your company, for example, does not want you to do that, it's totally fine as long as you don't have some principal objections to our community doing that. But if you do want to do that, it'd be awesome. If you could, for example, get one mentor from Red Hat, one from Ericsson, that would be even greater.
Yeah, thanks for the explanation. Yeah, this is much clearer, and I think as far as I know, there shouldn't be any objections, at least, for this to go on. And now I understand a bit better, and it would be really great if someone, at least, for example, do some sort of like this website corrections or documentation to the list. These are really good things. Yeah, I am very positive about this, at least from the community's perspective.
Yeah, from my part, certainly no objections. So we have, as now you mentioned, the documentation, yeah, and the website. Those two things are certainly can be improved, and those are not that deep technically. Yeah.
Regarding Ericsson's participation and the mentorship, we will get back soon on this as well.
Great, thank you.
Anyone else? Any opinion or anything you would like to add to this outreach? Okay. I will just note down that in principle, the committee members on the meeting had no objections. Website or documentation work would be a great help. ESG will ask.
With regards to the timeline, I think we need to decide by early January if we participate at all or not. And then we'll have probably a month more or 2 months to figure out the projects and submit them. So it's not like you need to tell me tomorrow.
Yeah.
Please consider that.
Okay, I have noted this down here. Thanks. That's great. Is there any other topics that you want to talk about? Maybe you noticed that the Ubuntu-based integration tests and even the full stack test had some difficulties. We suspect that now we have found the issue, and also we have improved it, especially Leonard. He made a PR about improving the DNS configuration, so that should help, just in case if you had issues with the Ubuntu integration tests. So is there any suggestion, problem, improvement, request, anything? Okay, if not, then thank you for your time, and we will meet next week the same time. Have a nice rest of the day. Bye bye.
Thanks, bye.
Thanks.
goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.